So my name is Corbin Bourree. I've been with Spud since 2010. I am also a board member for Sustainable Food Edmonton locally here, for those of you who are from the Edmonton area. Spud is an online grocery delivery service. We operate in Western Canada. We started in 1998 in Vancouver as a CSA. It started in an East Vancouver warehouse. It was one gentleman going to farms, 3 or 4 different farms at the time. It was a lot of kale, a lot of potatoes, and we actually started delivering by bicycle. We expanded into Alberta in 2002, and we've been in Edmonton since 2014. Obviously, expanding to Edmonton in 2014 shows that we're really committed to being in Alberta and to growing the local food system here, but we suck at timing. So timing couldn't have been worse to launch a new business. The goal of Spud has always been to provide an easier, more sustainable way to buy groceries. Starting in the early 2000s, we added grocery items to the mix. Now, if you're shopping on our Edmonton site, we've got over 3,000 different products available any given week. And in Edmonton, that number is closer to 4,000 different products. We've always worked on directly connecting communities of people with farmers and food producers. So what's different about Spud from, say, Riverbend or some of the work that's being done in the province at an institutional level is we actually don't grow or produce any of our own food. So we are really only as good as the different farms and food producers that we work with. And we really work on working with amazing people who create amazing products and trying to share their stories with people and expand the access for those products through home delivery. And at the core of what we do, we are a technology company. So we work on reducing food waste through the way that we order. We work on increasing efficiency of how we do business. And we operate on a triple bottom line. For those of you who were here yesterday, you may have heard the word B Corp, which means that we look at the impact to our stakeholders, our customers, and to the environment in everything that we do. So this slide is great because this really captures sort of the different pieces that I mentioned. So you'll see we've got some of our team members in the bottom corner. Across our 4 locations now, we're pushing 400 full-time staff members. We've got about 100 people working for us right now in Alberta. But again, so we've got our internal stakeholders who are our employees. We've got our customers who ultimately drive a lot of the decisions we make in terms of what products we source, what farms and producers we buy from, and sort of the quality and the ingredients that are put into the products we have. And again, it's all about the producers and the farmers, because those are the people who allow us to do what we do and distribute food. So again, here's one of our delivery guys. Currently in Edmonton, we're sending out about 1,000 orders a week. That number is closer to 3,000 in the Calgary area. We've got about 25 vans on the road. And I'll talk in a moment about how we use the vans, not just in terms of outbound deliveries and on getting stuff to people's homes, but some of the other ways that we reduce waste and that we believe that we're easy to partner with if you are a food producer or farmer. So in 2016, across our 4 locations, we made 350,000 deliveries to homes and offices. And again, we work with people who are really committed to what they do and really care about food. We work with 48 local farms. Of those 48, 25 are based in Alberta. The reason we do include the total number is for a lot of the things that come out of the Okanagan, so apples, stone fruit in the summer, and also when we have a really abrupt winter, like I was talking about with Janelle earlier, when it snows on Thanksgiving and things really come to an abrupt end of the season. We're committed to buying from BC as opposed to sourcing from places like California or Mexico or further abroad. We also work with 400 different food producers across our 4 locations. 125 of those are based in Alberta. To give you a sense of sort of scope, I was in our Calgary office on Friday and I made a point of counting the number of shipments that arrived. So we had 30 shipments show up that were delivered to us. And we used our vans on a daily basis to go out and pick up from other farms and producers. So of the 30 inbound deliveries we received, 28 were from people who are either growing or producing in the province. and only 2 were shipments that were bringing food in from outside of the province. So given the time of year, up to 80% of the produce on our list will always be grown in Alberta or BC. We haven't figured out how to grow bananas in Alberta yet, so those are always going to be coming from abroad. But on items like that, we're committed to buying fair trade, buying organic, and being fully transparent as to the distance they're traveling to reach us, and telling the story of what the growing conditions are, what the economic conditions are for the people working there, and making sure that people can make informed decisions. With the local vendors as well, we'll pick up from someone who is selling baked items. Quick show of hands, who here is from the Edmonton area, and who's from Calgary area or outside? We'll pick up loaves of bread from Prairie Mill Bakery, which is a bakery that is in both cities. But we'll do other stuff for them as well. If we have leftover bananas, the bananas go back to them and they put those bananas into their banana bread, which if you haven't had it, it's amazing. We'll do deliveries for them between the 2 cities because we run our own trucks back and forth. So we're really committed to making sure that our suppliers and our vendors and our food producers are successful, and that allows us to have great products to share with our customers. So again, being an online company, we believe that the trend is that grocery is going to change. Going to the superstores and the Walmarts and the Loblaws is something that Leanne touched on earlier, and that's habit and that's embedded for a lot of people. But currently 2% of all groceries are bought and sold online in Canada. If you look at a city like New York or Chicago, up to 16% of groceries are bought and sold online. In London and the UK, 22% of groceries are bought and sold online. So we believe it's early, but we think the change is coming, and that technology is going to allow us to distribute foods directly to people, and to do it in ways that are more efficient when you look at the broader food system. Obviously, we're here at a local food conference, so I don't need to tell you that local food is on the rise. And then the one big thing that we're seeing, especially in our business, is the rise of the millennial. These people are digital natives. They're very comfortable making purchases or checking things out on smartphones or online. And they're committed to where food is coming from, right? I think if you look at I've been to Janelle's farm, everyone there is, in the summer, is under the age of 30. And it's because they really care and they want to know where the food is coming from. They're committed to making that change and to being part of that solution. So all that adds up to say that, we think that we're well positioned to be a company that is really agitating for change. I would build on what Janelle said, in that, I think we're all committed to wholesale change and to really changing the structure. But at Spud, we believe that it's a series of sort of small changes and really pushing the envelope on a daily basis to get to where we want to go. So again, I mentioned earlier that we are a B Corp. There's not a ton of B Corps in Alberta, and I think if you sell petroleum products, it's difficult to be a B Corp. But again, this means that we're audited. So we're audited based on paying a living wage to our staff members. We're audited based on, if we have low flow toilets and if we have efficient lighting in our buildings. It references who we work with in terms of our food producers and stakeholders. So when it comes to choosing, a farm that we're going to work with, we'll actually go out. I have a pair of rubber boots in my office. I didn't wear them today because it's nice to switch things up, but they're covered in manure. But we will go out and we'll walk around farms. We'll make sure that any protein we're sourcing, the animals are ethically raised. They're slaughtered in the most humane way possible, and we really try to do the work behind the scenes that you're not losing that connection. So I know someone asked earlier, what's the connection with the CSA? And if you're not picking up directly from the farmer, you lose that connection. And that's something that we're committed to, is if you're using us and you're using a website, we want to be able to give you the resources to do the homework on those products that you're buying, even if it isn't directly from the farm or directly from the farmer at the farmer's market. But also to be able to really know that we've gone and done our due diligence and looked at these products to make sure that they are healthy and local and responsibly sourced. So this is anyone familiar with Reclaim Urban Farm? These guys are lovely. They're both, this is Ryan Mason and Kathy Sprague, so they were both master's students at the University of Alberta. Ryan grew up on a farm just near sort of south, Pigeon Lake area, and they care about food and where it comes from. So during their master's program, they started looking at urban agriculture. This is one of their more beautiful plots in the Garneau area, just a couple blocks east of the U of A hospital. And they were the first farm that we started working with when we opened Edmonton in 2014. They've since grown to more plots in the White Ave corridor, and they actually, a couple of years ago, expanded into our warehouse with a microgreen farm. So any microgreens now that are grown at Spud, or by Reclaim at Spud, if you buy them from us, they're actually picked that day, or they've been growing for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So working with Reclaim has been great in that, again, we don't grow anything, but we can tell you that, you know, the way that these guys run their business is responsible, is very locally focused. They have a very high quality product, and it allows us to be a platform for other people to grow their businesses or to grow their food, and then expand the distribution market. Italian Center is another one that, you know, it may not sort of strike you as local food if you think about the offerings of the Italian Center, but this is a way that we used our technology to expand the market for some of the Italian Center products. So we spoke to Teresa and their leadership team last summer and said, you know, we love your products. We don't carry prosciutto. We can't import olive oil and hide it in Little Italy in people's garages all through the fall. But you have amazing products and you don't have an online presence. We'd love to sell it. So we've partnered with them. We've taken their 200 top selling items and you can now order them through Spud directly to your door. What's cool here is on any of the fresh products, we pick up from them daily. So if you order, you know, prosciutto, or if you order any of the stuff from their amazing deli, it's actually cut for you that morning and then brought and then delivered to your door later that evening. So again, whether it's you know, a farmer, a primary producer, whether it's someone who is importing coffee beans to Alberta and then roasting them here, or whether it's another retailer, our goal is just to expand the market for food. And this is a fun one because now I get prosciutto delivered twice a week, which isn't great for my wallet or my waistline. So this is a photo of our Calgary delivery area. I put the Calgary one on, but Edmonton is similar in that we cover the surrounding communities as well. But what's cool is for Calgary, 5 of the farms that we work with actually fall within our delivery area. So we work with people who may have 1 or 2 products. We work with people who may have hundreds of products. And as you can see, because we cover such a big area with our vans, we're able to work with people who, you know, you may have a bakery in Terwilliger like a Prairie Mill, but you can then get your products to Leduc, you can get them to St. Albert, you can get them to Fort Saskatchewan without having to increase your overhead and go and put up new storefronts or go to all of the farmers markets there when they're in season. So we believe that, you know, that makes our partners more successful, and again, it delivers a better product and a better experience to our customers.